This 2-week lesson plan was created for a 6th grade English Language Arts reading class. The main objective of this unit is for students to demonstrate their understanding of different types of figurative language in a way that also helps them to build their technology skills. The state standards that are addressed in this unit are the craft and structure standards within the 6th grade English Language Arts standards and the production and distribution of writing standards. The net standards addressed are the Empowered Learner standards and the Creative Communicator standards. Several different learning tasks were completed in order to build towards the final culminating project, which was a figurative language fictional short story multimedia presentation. The students were able to use either Microsoft Sway, PowerPoint, or Adobe Spark Video for their final presentations. The first learning task was a quizzes pre-assessment. This pre-assessment helped me to group students for future activities, particularly the final multimedia project. The quizzes pre-assessment consisted of 15 multiple-choice questions, all relating to the figurative language devices that we were going to be discussing within the unit. Students received a code that they used to log into the game and answered the questions on their individual learning devices. Next, students received a shared PowerPoint presentation via their Office 365 accounts. Each student in my district has access to Office 365, and each student had a computer to view a copy of the shared notes. Students were tasked with taking notes using the PowerPoint, which also contained several different practice questions for them to complete. The next activity in this unit was a Disney song figurative language activity. Students received a document through their Office 365 account that contained a list of song lyrics from Disney movies. Students worked with the partner to identify the figurative language devices in each example listed. They typed their answers in Word via Office 365. The next learning task for this unit was a Kahoot game. Students played an interactive Kahoot game to review what they had learned so far about figurative language. Students were split into teams and were shown examples of sentences that contained figurative language devices. The students then had to determine which figurative language device was being shown in the example. With Kahoot, students were able to log into the game using their devices by typing in a code on the Kahoot website to access this particular game. The students then submitted their answers with their teams on their devices, and their answers were shown live in real time. The next learning task was a Brain Pop activity. Students viewed a Brain Pop video about idioms and cliches. Students then viewed the video and completed the corresponding assessment. The assessment for the activity was a multiple choice quiz. Next, students participated in a Padlet graffiti wall. Students participated in a collaborative digital graffiti wall where students wrote examples of each of the different types of figurative language devices that they had learned about. Students were then asked to examine the examples written by each of their peers. This is what the figurative language graffiti wall instruction page looked like for the students. When the students opened up their class's blank page, they were then able to click on the Add Post button at the bottom of the page, type in their name, and then proceed to following the instructions and writing their own examples of figurative language. When the graffiti wall was complete, we had a whole set of examples for students to view and take a look at to help them review. The culminating learning task for this unit was a figurative language short story multimedia presentation. Students were tasked with developing a short story, either made up or based on a real event. Students had to use at least one example of the figurative language devices that they had learned about. They then completed their draft in Microsoft Word and shared the draft with the group to peer edit. Students were then allowed to choose with their partner either a PowerPoint, Microsoft Sway, or Adobe Spark Video to complete the final portion of the project where they transformed their draft into a digital storybook. Because the students had never used Adobe Spark Video before, I did have to show them how to add slides and incorporate different forms of multimedia like images and other videos. The rubric that was used to grade the project addressed the figurative language devices, the story, writing conventions, and media, creativity, and originality. This unit showed me how important it is as a teacher to know how to use each web tool successfully. I do wish I could have allowed more time for certain activities because some did seem a bit rushed, but I was extremely pleased with how my students did and their overall products that they created. Thank you for watching.